Hi, and welcome back to the Save It for Parts channel. Today we're looking at satellite dishes yet again, and specifically we're trying to find out how big of a satellite dish do you need to pick up the GOES Geostationary Operating Environment satellites. These are geostationary weather satellites. There are two of them that cover the US. We've got GOES East and GOES West, and each of these sees about 30% of the globe. Between the two, they cover quite a bit of the Western Hemisphere. So these are great satellites to listen to if you're trying to get nice weather coverage, 24/7 downloads of live weather imagery, text message alerts, all kinds of weather maps. Interesting stuff that comes down from these. These are very frequently used by radio amateurs, amateur satellite folks, and pretty much anyone with an interest in weather and a large enough satellite dish. As with a bunch of my videos recently, I'm using the RTL SDR blog version 4, and I'm using the Newelec Sawbird GOES filter. So this is a software-defined radio that plugs into your computer. You can hook up an antenna or satellite dish to this and decode all kinds of interesting radio signals. And then this little guy is tuned to the frequency that this GOES satellite uses, as well as some other L-band microwave satellites, and that amplifies and filters your signal. As always, I will put links to these guys down in the description, and I have an Amazon affiliate thing, so it'll give me a little bit of a cut if you buy these from them. It won't cost you any extra, but it's a great way to support the channel. If you're just getting into software-defined radio, this is a really great unit, and if you're doing anything with L-band satellites, this is pretty much an essential. I'm also playing with a few of these printed circuit board antenna feeds. You might have seen these in some recent videos. I've been doing a couple different experiments with them. Some folks have asked, what else can you use for a satellite dish if you don't actually have one? And we've tried a few different things. This feed in particular, I believe this is called a Vivaldi, although I might be wrong. This seems to work pretty well for the GOES weather satellites, as does this log periodic antenna that looks a bit like a Christmas tree. I forget what this one is called, but it doesn't really work for this, so I'm not going to be using it. So one thing people ask me a lot is, what can I do with an old Dish Network or DirecTV dish, the kind that's up on my roof, or maybe I found it out on the street on a garbage day? Can I use these satellite dishes for anything? Now, most of these dishes are a little bit too small for most satellite operations. They are in the 20-inch to 24-inch diameter range, and that's just fine for a really high-powered TV satellite, but it's not quite big enough to collect enough signals from some of these lower-power weather satellites. Now, in one of my very first satellite experiment videos, I did extend one of those small DirecTV dishes with cardboard and tinfoil, and I was actually able to get imagery off of that weather satellite, but that was not a permanent solution. The cardboard and tinfoil fell apart. It wiggled around. That was just an experiment to see if I could make one of those dishes big enough. And yes, you can, but if you can actually get a hold of a larger dish, that's going to work much better. If you can find a larger DirecTV Dish Network antenna, like one that's made for northern Canada or Alaska, something that's around 3 feet in diameter, I believe that is just about big enough to use for the GOES weather satellites. Now, I recently picked one of these up for free. A TV station was getting rid of it, and it's just sitting in my yard right now. Now, this dish is a little bit too small for me, but I found somebody who I can trade it to, so before I end up getting rid of it, I figured let's point it at that satellite, hook up one of these feeds, and see if it's actually big enough to receive this signal. So this one's actually 39 inches by 43 inches. If I were using this dish permanently, I would take off the LNB and feed horn, that's this assembly here, and probably throw it away because I don't find much use in KU band. I don't watch any TV, so I don't care about satellite TV. Since I'm giving this to somebody else, we're going to just temporarily mount that other feed, the L-band feed up here. As always, we use only the very best equipment and techniques on this channel, so we have our feed duct taped in place at approximately the focal point. It could probably be moved back a little bit more, but we're going to see if this works. We have our Sawbird LNA filter directly on the feed. You want this as close to the actual antenna element as possible. And then we will run in a cable out to our SDR, hook up a laptop, and get this thing aimed at the satellite. So we have our dish precariously perched on some milk crates attached with bungee cords. You can't ask for a more efficient and professional satellite dish installation than that. Well, you can ask, but you're not going to get it from this channel. All right, we're getting a fairly decent signal on the SDR on the laptop here. We're getting a lot of interference. We're getting stuff probably bouncing off the ground and bouncing off the cars. If we had this up on a pole, up on the roof instead of down here on the driveway, we'd probably have a cleaner signal, but
I think this is going to be enough to try to decode.
Well, that was working well enough, and we were getting some imagery. It still wasn't a perfect connection, and some of the full disk images were coming out a little bit corrupted. So I wanted to see if I could improve this even more. So we did end up pulling out the LNB just temporarily, stuck the feed directly in the center, and this way we can adjust a little bit more. I also tried that log periodic antenna, and that worked just as well as the Vivaldi one. I can't quite tell which one is better than the other. They both seem to perform pretty similarly. All right, well that worked pretty well, as I kind of expected it would. A 3-foot dish is pretty reasonable for receiving the GOES weather satellite, and if you can find one of these things, again, they're often sold in far northern Canada and Alaska, but you can find them in the lower 48. You can find them in the continental US as well. And if you can find one of these dishes around, they are a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer than some of the regular old small form factor rooftop dishes that you normally find around here. Here are some of the images that we downloaded from the GOES satellite this afternoon. These are pretty typical examples of what you get from one of these satellites. You get the regular full disk images, you get a variety of infrared images, other wavelengths of light, different things that will help out weather forecasters to determine the upcoming weather for the day, the different cloud patterns and temperatures at different altitudes, all kinds of scientific stuff like that. And then you also get weather messages, forecast information, all kinds of text and image broadcasts, interesting stuff sent over from the other GOES satellite, GOES West. Anyway, this was just a quick demonstration video that I did in one afternoon just to get some use out of that smaller satellite dish before I trade it away, and just to show you an example of what size of dish you'll need to pick up some of these weather satellites. Now again, I've gotten the GOES satellite with stupid homemade antennas like a smaller satellite dish expanded with cardboard and foil. I've gotten it with an umbrella coated in foil. Those aren't really ideal because they don't last very long and they get pretty marginal signals. If you want to get a good solid signal, if you want a dish that you can set up permanently on your house, in your yard, and download these images 24/7, this dish is probably about the size that you'll want for that. Check out some of my other videos for some of those homemade satellite dishes that I've mentioned and other satellite experiments I've done. If you like my content and you want to support more videos like this, I do have a Patreon, and I do release some exclusive videos on there that don't come out on YouTube, as well as releasing all my videos about a week early, so you get to see a preview a week ahead of time. Thanks again everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.